Hey there, I've talked before about the big hurdle when you're starting the YouTube channel of getting past that first 1,000 subscribers. That's really such a hurdle. It seems like there's so much competition and getting your material out there before everybody. It seems like it's such an uphill battle sometimes. I know how it can seem. So I thought I'd talk about my own path to getting over 1,000, what that looked like, some mistakes I made, and some things I learned so that maybe your trip to over 1,000 is a little easier. So back in the summer of 2016, I had actually had a YouTube channel before. I've talked about this in another video that I can link down below. But uh, generally, the process was I had briefly had a YouTube channel. I think it was less than a year. I only had about 125 subscribers or something. And then for various reasons, I decided to explode it and got rid of it. But around 2016, I'd kind of been thinking about this software that I use, Manga Studio, Clip Studio Paint is the name now, that is pretty popular. And I was trying to learn it, and I couldn't find a very comprehensive tutorial about the course. So I thought, I know it pretty well at this point because I'd been forced to just kind of learn it as best I could. And I thought, I bet other people want to learn to make comics, so why don't I make a software tutorial? I just kind of looked into what would be involved with doing that, and I thought, I bet I could do this pretty quickly. This is before YouTube, because I'd heard about this platform, Udemy, and it's basically tutorials and education related things, a lot of software tutorials. But I'm not recommending Udemy actually. I do not like Udemy for a lot of reasons. But let me go on with my story. When I first heard about Udemy, it seemed okay. They seemed pretty flexible. And I thought, okay, I'll just try it. I bet I could crank out a course pretty quickly. And I say crank out, that doesn't mean it would be a bad course. It just means like I wanted to do it pretty quickly. And I did. I think it took less than 3 weeks to record a 77 video, about 6.5 hour course. And I uploaded it, and it was pretty quickly received in the Udemy community. And part of the reason was, I began by having it for free on Udemy, and you can change to a course that you pay for later on. But I thought I want to get some students, so I'll just leave it free for now. And then when I have more students, I'll change it to a priced course so I can make some money. I don't remember how long it took, but at some point I did change it to a priced course. I don't even remember the cost that I was asking for it. It wasn't that high. I think it was pretty low. But I noticed like right away I changed it to a cost course, and it was just like crickets. Nobody was buying it. And I realized too there were other courses on Clip Studio Paint, Manga Studio. They were a little different, a little more focused on specific aspects. Mine was more about a comprehensive picture of the entire course. But the point is, I changed it to a fee course, and nobody was buying it. I don't know how long I left it at the price with a price tag, but just maybe a few days. Maybe I should have left it for longer. But ultimately, it was a good thing because I'm like, oh, nobody's downloading my course now that it's not free. So I'm going to change it back to free because I want people to at least get the course. And I mean, I put in all this work on it. I'd rather have people downloading it every day, and like at least I have my brand. I could maybe use it somehow to branch into something else. But I changed it back to free, and once I did that, I could never charge money for it. So Udemy is very strict. This is part of the reason I don't think I would use Udemy again. And now they don't even allow you to do courses longer than 2 hours if they aren't, if you don't charge for them, because they're really a profit-driven business. I mean, most businesses are, right? But I don't know. I just didn't like. They felt like such a gatekeeper. They really. It just didn't seem something I wanted. So I thought, hey, I'm releasing it for free on Udemy. Why don't I just release it for free on YouTube as well? Like, get it out to as many people as possible. It's going to be free. Just get it to as many people as you can. And that's what I did. I essentially, in I think June or July 2016, I uploaded in 1 or 2 days, however long it took me to upload 77 videos, the entire course. And right away, it started getting a good amount of views. And I think that's because it was a course that was pretty in demand, that people wanted a complete tutorial for Clip Studio Paint. And it was very comprehensive. It was I taught it from the very beginning. Like, you didn't have to know anything about comics. I mean, you had to know a little basic about what comics are, but you didn't have to know anything about the software or how to even make art, like how to use a tablet on a computer. I taught it all, and that course is still out there. I'm obviously promoting it, I guess. But if you want to make comics, it's still up on my channel. There's a playlist, etc. So that got me started, and when I finished that, I was like, cool, now what do I do? Because I could have done more art-related tutorials, and I've done a few, but this is kind of like a key thing with a channel, is that when you do it, you want to help others, and being profitable is nice too, but you have to do the videos that you want to do. You have to do videos that you enjoy doing. And if you're not going to enjoy doing them, you got to change something. You got to find a different style of video or do something different. So it's a job in the sense that, especially once it becomes your main income source, which it's not for me and for most people at this point, but if it becomes a more lucrative source of income, then you're going to have to realize that people expect certain things from you. So it does become like a job, but it's not like a job in that you can be fired. You could lose subscribers, things like that, but you can't be fired. So ultimately, you're the boss of what is on your channel. And I kind of, when I finished the course, I just kind of took a step back and said, what do I like? And I like talking about books. So I started doing a lot of book reviews, and I think I'm up to about 69 or 70 book reviews at this point. And I still do occasional book reviews, but not regularly. Like, for a while after I finished the Clip Studio Paint course, I was primarily doing book reviews like every week or two. Like, anytime I came across a book that I had something interesting to say about or I really enjoyed, I would do a book review. And it was a good way to get inertia going, but I didn't see a lot of huge growth. And this was kind of one of my big mistakes, is that some of my book reviews did pretty well, like my review of Alan Moore's Jerusalem. I talked about Gravity's Rainbow by Thomas Pynchon. That was pretty popular. But by and large, the book reviews were not super successful. Like, they would get, a few hundred views. Sometimes some of them got a few thousand views, but it wasn't lucrative by any means. And yet, for some reason, I decided to do this massive course about James Joyce's Ulysses. So that was my big mistake. I still had not passed 1,000 1,000 subscribers when I started that course. So this has kind of become a hardwired rule for me now, is that don't do a big series unless you've found success with, small tests first. But for some reason, I did decide to go ahead with this huge 62 episode Ulysses course, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. This is kind of the opposite of doing videos that are popular but you don't enjoy. This was an unpopular course that I enjoyed. I really liked doing that course. It was a lot of fun, and I learned so much doing that series, but not super successful. Just a couple of the videos found success and got several thousand views, but for the most part, some of those videos got like 100, 200 views. That's it. And maybe sometime in the future they'll get more views, but for right now, when I finished it, I decided, okay, I'm gonna not do any more series about books. But as I was doing that course, I was testing things out. I was occasionally doing other videos to test the water, so that when I finished the course, I would have some idea of what might be a popular thing. And what happened as I was doing the course, I did get a lot of subscribers, and my the Manga Studio course, that still brings in subscribers. This is kind of an idea. When you have a big course or a big series like that, it's the kind of thing I think that people bookmark. This is kind of what subscription is. It's kind of a bookmarking. They may not be watching all your videos. I mean, when I release videos, even though I have over 2,600 subscribers right now, I release a video, it doesn't usually get 2,600 views because a lot of people aren't signed up for notifications. They're not following every single release that you do. But if they want to go back and watch one of my series courses, maybe that's why they've subscribed to me. So don't take it personally. Actually, YouTube, in the uploading process, they say this, like, it's very normal for a video to get less views than you have subscribers, to have more subscribers. Even huge YouTubers, like with millions of subscribers, they don't get that level of views. It's normal and to be expected, so don't panic. At some point, yeah, like I finished the Ulysses course and now I just kind of have been testing niches along the way. The process has been bumpy. So I guess my advice for you, if you are under 1,000 and are trying to break over 1,000, is to, one, work on your thumbnail game. Thumbnails are very, very important, and the more professional and polished looking thumbnail you can get. One way to find trends in thumbnails, because when I started that Clip Studio Paint course, I didn't create any thumbnails. All those thumbnails for all 77 videos, for the most part, are just the auto-generated thumbnails. And surprisingly, some of those have still got, some of those are my most popular videos, but a lot of them, I think if I was doing it now, I would create more professional thumbnails, especially since, I'm using Clip Studio Paint. That's where I make my thumbnails now. So use thumbnails. Usually you want to include your face in a thumbnail. There's no hard and fast rules, but look on the trending page of YouTube and see trends and see how people design their thumbnails, because there are a lot of ways, and there's no one right way, but you can see what has worked for some people. Second, work on really good titles, writing your titles out. Usually you want to title it in a style similar to books. You want capitalize the first words. You can play around though with maybe all lowercase or all caps or using punctuation, things like that. But I would say for the most part, you want to just, title it like a book, capitalize major words and maybe lowercase for incidental words like and, to, and so on. Another thing I wish I had done in those first tutorials is at the end of the video or at some point in the video, ask people to subscribe. Just let them know that you're a growing YouTuber. And if you're honest and authentic about it, I think people, especially if they see you have content that may interest them in the future, let them know that, hey, you may be doing more of this, so please subscribe. It's really appreciated, and just be honest about it. Nowadays, at the end of almost every video, I put a little subscription thing in the subscription button, but you can say it earlier in the video. I do these blow up things sometimes. There's a lot of different ways, but just don't be shy about it, because sometimes people just don't even think about it until you bring it up, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe I should subscribe. This seems like a really cool person. Subscribe. Another tip is, as I said, don't stick to one format until you've found success with a format. Try a lot of different things, especially in the early days. That's the time when you really do want to try a lot of different experiments. Collaborate with people if you can. That is something I've only done about 3 times. It is something I intend to do a lot more of in the future. Vary your formats, your equipment, where you shoot, how you shoot. And then here's a huge one that I did not do at all, which I'm just shooting myself in the face about for not doing it. But I've started to do it more in the last year or so, is use and look at these channels that are devoted to giving creators advice. I mean, YouTube has an official creator channel. I look at that sometimes. But I find that a lot of the better channels are just people giving advice like this. It's not my primary niche at this point. I've done a few videos about it, but I like it, and if you want advice, I'll do more in the future. By and large, there are a lot of great people out there with a lot of great advice, and basically you can kind of see how successful they are by looking at how many subscribers they have. If they have tons of subscribers, then yeah, you may want to listen to their advice and how they got there. I realize that I'm not at that point, but I did get to 2,600, and I'm seeing a rise in subscribers. Every day I get at least 10 to 20 subscribers. So look for advice. One idea I have for my channel is to do kind of a feedback or a review of other people's channels. So if you are under 1,000 subscribers and you want some feedback, I would love to, just create an episode on my channel of looking at your channel and describing, looking at your banners, looking at your designs, your thumbnails, your titles, and your personality and how you're going about things. I'll give you my honest feedback. It's going to be very gentle criticism if you want it. The only, caveat is that I'm going to put it on my channel, but you're going to get a lot of free promotion for your channel. So if you have a channel and you're growing and want some feedback, just let me know. Leave a comment down below and I will consider. I'm not promising it, but if I see that you're doing regular videos and you seem like you're serious about it, I will be glad to, do a review of what your channel looks like and just giving it's going to be my opinion, and you can ignore it, obviously, but I think I'm going to be able to give you some advice. I think that's kind of one of my dreams, is like if I ever do have a large audience on YouTube, is to give advice to smaller creators, because I think it's, I like to help people reach their audience, whatever their target audience is, and that's just something I'm kind of messing with at this point, just thinking about. But if you are interested and want some free advice, just let me know in the comments below. So that's been sort of my path on YouTube, and I'll continue to chart that path in future videos. See you there. Bye.